Hey guys, we are back. What's cracking? Today we are going to be looking at a new video series that I'm launching. I have a bunch of ideas for video series that I want to launch, and so this is going to be just a kickoff for one. And I figured I started off with my favorite type, the water type. So what I'm going to be doing is looking at a lot of different aspects of the type, history of the type, like some notoriety of the type, and just looking at like just type analysis. And I'm going to be doing this for all 18 types. All right. So without further ado, let's get this on the road. So first we're going to get some history about the water type. Previous to Gen 4, as probably most of you know, there was a physical special split in Gen 4, and all water type moves were considered special type attacks previous to this split. That means a lot of, it was actually very bad for a lot of physical attacking water types. Some big ones being like Gyarados, Swampert, Sharpedo. These are Pokemon who couldn't really make use of their phenomenal attack stats, and therefore couldn't really do much in the ways of water type stabs. There are actually 124 water type Pokemon, and that makes up 16% of all Pokemon, and it makes it the most common type in the game. And finally, water is actually the only type that shares a dual typing with every other type of Pokemon, meaning there's a water bug, and a water fire, and a water grass, and a water electric, and a water dragon. It's the only typing that shares a dual type with every single type in the game. No other type has that claim to fame, which is a pretty cool little tidbit. Alright, so next we're going to be looking at stats. Due to the large number of water type Pokemon, these stats do look fairly mediocre, but you got to keep in mind, like, Magikarp is in this mix, like, Marill is in this mix. Like, there's a lot of little tiny babies that are thrown in here, so you got to keep in mind, like, this isn't super, the stat totals, at least this BST value, isn't super like indicative. But when we do look at water types, we see a lot of general balance, and that's kind of indicative of how the water type playstyle is that they are generally pretty tanky. They're tanky, they're bulky, but they also hit fairly hard on both sides. That's something that water types are known for. And water types are also not very fast, which is what you can see here, and that is actually true. Water type is one of the slower typings in the game. I find that to be a pretty interesting fact, but yeah, that's true. It's one of the slower types in the game. Alright, so next we're going to be looking at its offensive and defensive viability. So offensively, water types are super effective against fire, ground, and rock. They are resisted by dragon, grass, and water, and there's no type that is immune to water, bar abilities, of course. Now, fire, ground, and rock types are all very common, so this is it's a pretty solid attacking type. Dragon, grass, waters are also fairly common, especially in competitive play, but the large number of neutral hits plus the super effective hits that it does achieve make water a pretty solid offensive typing, and also on top of which, actually, a lot of water types get ice type coverage, be it ice punch, ice beam, something like that, and that means that a lot of them can abuse ice types to cover two of these weaknesses, meaning that only true counter to a lot of water types is other water types, at least on the defensive side. So, alright, so because of these reasons, I'm going to give the water typing a 6 out of 10 for offensive viability. Next, if we look at defensive, we see that it resists fire, ice, steel, water, and is weak to electric, grass. Again, ice type coverage can help alleviate this grass weakness. That means water types have a lot of viability defensively, and this is a known fact. Bulky water types, and a way to defeat bulky water types is a thing on a lot of teams because the fact that water is such a powerful defensive typing. It resists a lot more things than it's weak to. The only weakness that it really has that it can't usually cover on its own, which is electric type, isn't super common, honestly, and a lot of them aren't, they're just not very prevalent in the tiers where water types exist. So you're going to be resisting a lot of things, namely fire and ice are two really great attack, and also water. These are three really great attacking types that you're going to be resisting. So that's going to be super useful as a defensive typing, and because of these reasons, I'm going to give water type an 8 out of 10 for defensive viability. Alright, so next we're going to be looking at the top stat Pokemon. Coming in with a giant and whopping HP stat of 170, we have none other than Wailord. Wailord is the Gen 3 whale Pokemon evolving out from Wailmer, and it beats out Alomomola for a close second, Alomomola having a 165 HP stat. Next up, for the attack stat, we have Mega Gyarados coming in with 155 physical attack, which is a great, not overwhelming for as far as a lot of strong physical attackers go, but still, nonetheless, a fearsome attack stat, 155. For this list, we will be including Megas and Legendaries, just because the video ends up being a little long and tangenty if you start going into non-legendary and legendary Pokemon. For defensive, we have Cloyster, who has a defense stat of 180, which is something that a lot of people don't really remember. Is that Cloyster is, well, because it's so often used as a shell smash sweeper, known for its offensive and devastating setup ability and power. Um, but Cloyster is actually the highest defense stat among almost all Pokemon, and namely water types. It has a 180, which is just whopping, and a lot of times that's what makes Cloyster so valuable, is the ability to set up. For top special attack, we have Primal Kyogre with a devastating special attacks out of 180. That's just monstrous. Boosted by the rain, Primal Kyogre is a monster. Primal Kyogre also wins for special defense, having a 160 special defense, which is by far nothing to scoff at. That thing can sponge up special hits, practically functioning as a special wall all of its own. Finally, in the speed stat, we have Greninja. Greninja hits 122 speed, which is a great speed tier to be at, but also it does leave it overwhelmed by a lot of other types. So you will find that water types are slow, and this is kind of in point with Greninja. Like, Greninja's nowhere near the top of the fastest Pokemon list. So while it is the fastest water type, water types on the whole are not very fast Pokemon, relying on either Swift Swim or Pokemon moves such as that to really boost their speed up. All right. So next we're going to look at some notable trainers. First up, we have everybody's favorite heartthrob when they were a little girl, or when they were a little boy. That's going to be, or a little girl, you do you. And that's going to be Misty. Misty is the gym leader for Cerulean City of the Kanto region. Next up, we have Wallace. Wallace serves as the the champion of the Pokemon League in Ruby, Sapphire, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire, but serves as the gym leader of Sutopolis City in Emerald. He serves as the champ. Oh my god, I totally mixed that up. I'm sorry. He serves as the champion of the Elite Four in all the games I listed, and then as the Sutopolis City gym leader. Oh my goodness, I'm dying right now. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Wallace is the gym leader of Sutopolis City in Ruby, Sapphire, Alpha Sapphire, and Omega Ruby. Wallace serves as the champion in Emerald. In Emerald, the Sutopolis City gym leader will be Juan, who is Wallace's mentor. All right, so next we have from straight out of the Sinnoh region, we have Crasher Wake of Pastora City. We have Marlin of the Humalao City in the Unova region, and we have Seabolt of the Kalos Elite Four. Alright, so next we're going to be taking a look at the legendary Pokemon of the water typing. First of all, this list wouldn't be a list without the king himself, king of the sea, legendary Pokemon of the sea, created over all water on planet Earth in the Pokemon world, I guess. But Primal Kyogre is just a monstrous Pokemon, regular Kyogre as well, honestly, both viable in the Ubers here in their own right. Next up we have Manaphy, the Prince of the Sea, and its kind of lame cousin, child, freak thing, which is Fione. Both good Pokemon, Manaphy namely so. Next we have Palkia, the Pokemon of Space, who just happens to be a water-type Pokemon. I never really understood why, but it is what it is. Palkia is a water type. Then finally we have Keldeo, one of the Justice Swords, or whatever they are. Justice Pokemon, Sword Pokemon, I don't even know what is going on there. Alright, so competitive moves. We have, there's a lot of competitive water-type moves that are used and seen often. First up, we have Origin Pulse, which is the signature move of Primal Kyogre. It's a slightly more accurate Hydro Pump. Scald, which is one of the most metagame defining moves in all of Pokemon, all tiers. 80 base power move, which might seem underwhelming, but 30% burn chance is critical. Helping in net damage, helping it hurt a lot of physical attackers' ability to sweep. Hydro Pump is usually the stronger option that some people opt for. It has 110 base power, which is noticeably stronger, but also you forego some accuracy. Rain Dance starts the rain effect. Water type is the main type of Pokemon that will benefit from the rain effect, and so we'll get into that maybe a bit. We'll add a bit of that later. Hydro Cannon, which is the strongest water type attack, is 150 base power, slightly more accurate than Hydro Pump with 90%, but it does require a one-turn recharge. Hydro Cannon is primarily learned by starter Pokemon, although I think there may be a couple others that I'm forgetting that might learn it as well, but it is primarily learned by starter Pokemon. Crabhammer, which is the strongest physical water type attack, I'm pretty sure. Crabhammer is pretty limited on its I guess, what would you call it? Its distribution, limited to, I think, Kingler and Crawdont, honestly. Maybe there's a couple others I'm forgetting, I don't know, but Kingler and Crawdont's evolution chains. 100 base power, which is whopping strong with a high crit rate and 90% accuracy. It's a very powerful move, and it's a pity that it doesn't get higher distribution. Waterfall has 80 base power and 20% flinch chance. This is generally the go-to physical type water type attack for physical water type Pokemon. With a 20% flinch chance, that is easily very helpful. Next up, we have Water Spout. Water Spout is a 150.0 base power move, signature move of Kyogre originally, but also learned by Wailord and I think like Jelly Scent, maybe a couple others. Its attack power, it's 100% accuracy, but its attack power is dependent on your current level of HP. Actually, a move that I forgot to mention that I want to say is Aqua Jet. I guess I forgot to add it to the list, but Aqua Jet is a move that is the water type priority physical move, which is definitely worth noting. Priority is definitely useful, and Aqua Jet has a lot of usage among like Azumarill, or in lower tiers you have like Floatzel or Feraligatr and UU, stuff like that. Alright, so competitive Pokemon. We're going to be going over primarily Pokemon that are competitive in Smogon's OU tier, just because that is what I play, that is what a majority of Pokemon players that are, especially on my channel, will be familiar with. First up, we're going to look at Azumarill. Azumarill is a huge power ability Pokemon and hits like a truck. Generally uses a wall breaker or just an offensive sweeper. It runs a lot of valuable sets from Choice Band to Belly Jet to Assault Vest. We have Gyarados. Gyarados has a Mega Evolution and is fearsome in its own right. Gyarados offers a lot of bulk and a lot of setup opportunities with Dragon Dance, along with great coverage and great fearsome attack, along with a great ability and great typing. Gyarados is just all around a great Pokemon. Keldeo. Keldeo is a legendary Pokemon who has been a dominant S or A+ ranked Pokemon in the OU tier since its introduction. Has a fantastic speed tier and a great special attack stat, along with a great move in Secret Sword that hits Pokemon on their defensive side. Next up, we have Manaphy. Manaphy is a great Pokemon, especially fitting in a lot of rain-abusing teams, or just setting up its own rain. Manaphy's Tail Glow is probably what asserts it as such a dominant force, but it does run viable Calm Mind moves. However, Tail Glow will boost your special attack stat by 3, quickly turning Manaphy into a immensely strong wall breaker or sweeper, depending on what your team is looking for. Next up, we have Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash is a metagame defining Pokemon and pretty much single-handedly defines what the role of a defensive pivot is in the OU tier. With one weakness, Bar, Mold Breaker, Rotom Wash just has the utility and the defensive capabilities that it needs, and just offers a lot of options to any team that it fits into. Next up, we're going to be looking at Slowbro. Slowbro and Mega Slowbro, respectively, do function in different roles, but offer a lot of both offensive and defensive options. Slowbro itself is a great defensive pivot, giving you a lot of options to switch in and abusing Regenerator, while Mega Slowbro can run a great Pro-Row set, or has a great offensive special tank. We're going to be looking at Starmie. Starmie is a great user of Rapid Spin and can run both effective defensive and offensive sets. A great dual stab that gives this fantastic coverage along with the Bolt Beam combination, and a great speed stat to boot. Crawdont. Crawdont is a fantastic wall breaker, utilizing its adaptability to make and dish out incredibly strong stab, water, and dark type moves. Cloyster. Cloyster is a fantastic, undeniably powerful setup sweeper, utilizing primarily two boons to it are going to be Shell Smash, which boosts all of its offensive stats by 2 stages instantly, while also decreasing its other stats, defensive stats, by 1. So 1, yeah. And it also utilizes its fantastic defense, as I said earlier, but primarily Skill Link. Skill Link letting all of its chain moves hit 5 times consistently, letting it break through sashes and use incredibly high-powered base moves. Greninja is something that I will be putting on this list because Greninja, in its time in the OU tier, was an undeniable force and shaped team building as we know it, and really shaped an offensive metagame, or defensive, depending on how you like to look at it, around itself. Tentacruel is a great rapid spinner, fits really well on a lot of teams, has great dual stab, and also fantastic special bulk, along with the ability to set up Toxic Spikes. Really comes in as a great utility support Pokemon. Finally, we have Politoed, the OG Weatherbringer himself. Politoed is primarily only competitively used to bring rain for a rain team. That said, that wool alone does make it extremely beneficial to any team that is abusing water types. Actually, I just want to add in a couple other Pokemon that I could list. You can list, namely, you can start listing off rain abusers. Rain abusers being like Kingdra, Kabutops, and Omastar. However, I left those off of the list just because I figured, there's already 12 Pokemon here, so that's like a lot. Alright, water type abilities. One ability that I did forget right now I'm going to mention is Swift Swim. Swift Swim is useful because under rain it will boost your water types. Generally, I think only water types learn it. Maybe there's a couple others. There's a couple others, I'm pretty sure, but water type Pokemon primarily, and they will have their speed doubled, which makes them fearsome threats, especially if they have high attacking stats. Drizzle is the first one, as shown by Politoed. Drizzle will summon rain, and through usage of the damp rock will make it last for 8 turns, which is fantastic. Dry Skin is a move is an ability that suffers and heals when hit by a water type attack or when it is raining, and suffers when hit by a fire type attack or when it is sunny. Torrent is a move utilized by water type starters, and it boosts the power of water type moves when your health is under 1/3 HP. Storm Drain, I think, who has like Gastrodon, Credilli, but it draws water type attacks towards it, so pulling it away, useful in double battles, and then proceeds to boost your own special attack while also granting immunity. Water Veil is an ability that means a water type Pokemon cannot be burned. Rain Dish. Rain Dish heals Pokemon in the sand, however, you will not see it used as a lot of Pokemon that learned Rain Dish, namely Ludicolo, or I think maybe Tentacruel even learns it, I'm not sure, have other abilities that people opt to use over Rain Dish. Hydration, the biggest user being Goodra and Manaphy. Hydration is Pokemon status will be healed in the rain. This is abused by Pokemon like Manaphy and Goodra who can use rest and then heal up. Alright, so that was my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This video did take like a few hours of research and work to get everything put together the way I wanted it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and if you enjoyed, let me know. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know like what you want to see more of, any ideas for my channel. I'm kind of trying to really attack a more aggressive approach with the channel, try to net some more subscribers. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and Kraken Nation out.